This is the moment that all designers love. This is the moment when we bring our clients into their home and we show them all the elements of design that makes their dream house come true. This is the reveal. I'm so excited to bring you in and let you be a part of it. Hi, my name is Bridgett Mazer, owner of Bridgett Mazer Interiors. We have been in business since 2004 here in Wilmington, North Carolina, and we currently have jobs all over the United States. I met this particular client from a family member, and to date, he is my youngest client, which made it a lot of fun in many different ways. He's a young business professional, very enthusiastic, impeccable taste, and has 2 large shedding dogs that we worked around, a very busy business schedule, loves to entertain, and bringing the outside and the water in was one of our main goals because he loves to be on the water. Throughout this house, you're gonna see many things of the nature and the water brought inside, and using all of those colors of the sunsets and the water within our color scheme. So our intention for the foyer in this house was we wanted a huge impact and wow factor, although we did not have a huge, large amount of space. So one of the things that I always love to focus on is lighting, and I feel like that can make the biggest impact in any room. So as you can see up above in these 2-story ceilings, we decided to go with 3 lights instead of 1 large one so that we could really spread out and distribute the light. And then also when you ride by this house with the lights on, it makes an amazing focal point at night. Another thing that we wanted to do was focus on this 1 accent wall that we have in the foyer. So we decided to put this beautiful wood paneling that stained just a very light color to complement all the different tones in this house, and with some simple artwork on here that complements the light walls. So in any design, I love to incorporate local artists, and this right here is actually one of my favorites. This was done by Chris Frick, and we have some of his work throughout the home, but he just has the perfect vibe for this particular client, and so we felt with the dark colors in this, it really balances the floating staircase. The staircase we decided to do with metal and glass just to make this foyer feel wider. And I always love a floating staircase with the metal stringers and the dark accents to add another texture and element. So we've got the wood, we've got the metal, and then we've also got the other shades of stain. One of the items that my client previously owned was this beautiful elk, and so we were able to incorporate it into this large foyer with the lights, which actually complements the elk with the lights beautifully. The design for the main living area was to bring you straight through the front doors and go directly out to the water. We didn't want any large, bulky furniture obstructing the views, so we used very low profiles so our eye was drawn straight out. We wanted to make the best use of the space by having multiple sitting areas for entertaining throughout this main living area. So this is the entertaining space and family room of the house, and originally this was 1 large space, and so it just felt too large to me, and so we actually ended up dissecting it into 2 areas for entertaining. So we have the family room over here, and then we have more of the wet bar lounge area over this way. We had this large wall back here, and I wanted to do something really dynamic that really was a wow factor. And so we contacted an artist out of South Beach, Miami. His name is Alex Turco, and he is famous for his glass panel art. He was wonderful to work with. We were able to take the exact colors from the water outside and bring them directly onto this wall. After we received the samples and we approved what we wanted to do, we realized that it would be best to backlight this. So we put, you can see a light well up here where the light just floods down on the art. So at nighttime when you're going by on boat, this wall just reflects all the way out. Some of the elements that I wanted to focus on in this space were texture. And so a recurring theme is we definitely have some of the metal brought in, which you can see with this beautiful coffee table and the base. And then we have a stone top. And then we didn't want to have too much pattern with our gorgeous wall art. So we did a simple hide on the floor and then an icy slate blue leather so that everything is just very monochromatic and lets this be the focal. One of the pieces that my client did bring to the table was this fun piece. This was a family gift for him, and so we thought this was the perfect space to put it, and it's actually been an amazing conversation piece when you're sitting here having a drink. We also decided to panel all of our appliances over here. So we have this beautiful tiger wood with our beverage fridge. We have a nice wine fridge in the corner. We have all of the stash underneath and everything you would need over here to entertain. So this is our main living space, and so this is where we get comfortable, watch TV, and relax. And so we wanted the furniture to be very comfortable, but also have the low profile that we were looking for to look straight out to the water. So we made the end caps of our arms this solid wood so that it's not needed to have a side table. These swivel chairs actually swivel 360 to look at the view behind us, and so you can be part of this area or interacting with the space behind you. And one of my favorite pieces in this room is this 3-tier coffee table. We were able to customize everything about it, from the metal base to the different wood tones and colors on top, and it just gives another dimension and level to the room instead of everything being at the 18-inch seating height. Our rug in this room, we wanted to be pet friendly and also practical. We wanted to use more neutral color tones so that it didn't distract from this beautiful mural behind us. And so we went with light colors that didn't compete with anything else in the room. So we come over to the fireplace wall, and I really just wanted to do a backdrop that didn't compete with anything else in the surroundings. So for the porcelain tile on this wall, we wanted to go with something that didn't have a lot of color but just blended in. It has a beautiful pattern that's just very subtle, but it's not solid, so it gives some dimension to the wall. We added the metal stripping between the layers just to give a modern feel. One thing that I love to use is a frame TV. I use these in most of all of my projects because when you're not watching the TV, you can have a beautiful piece of art displayed, and it just looks beautiful with the surroundings. When you have a water view, I think it's a must to have a fire feature because I love the fire and water aspect. This linear fireplace we were able to customize with driftwood logs. And so one thing that is very nice about these linear fireplaces is you can mix glass with wood, or you can do all glass. So bringing in the outside and the driftwood from the beach, we decided to go with the driftwood logs, and we actually put glass within it as well. So my client loves to entertain, so something that was very important was to have a comfortable dining chair. We definitely had to use a very durable fabric because of the animals and for constant entertaining. So this chair has been so nice because not only is it so durable, but the curve to the back and to the arms just makes you want to sit in it for as long as you want. We went with a custom finish on this dining table that brings in more of the taupey gray tones with the browns so that it complements all of the furnishings around it. And this is an extendable table, and so we can even extend this more and add more seats. So moving into the kitchen, one of my favorite things in a kitchen to pick out is the stone and the lighting. I feel like the lighting above the island really sets the tone for the kitchen. So when picking out these lights, I thought it would be really unique to do a series of 3, just like we did in the foyer. We did the series of 3 in different sizes, and so we did the same thing above here, and I really feel like it just gives that modern, clean element. It's not too much light shining down, and these can dim as well. One thing that you'll notice in this kitchen is this beautiful stone, and it seems like it replicates a lighter version of our mural in our wet bar lounge area. It's got the beautiful greens and blues, and I love the waterfall down the edges. We did this on both sides, and so it just gives such a clean, crisp look without seeing the wood paneling on the ends. We have the pantry behind us, which is hidden by this beautiful pocket door with the metal stripping in between as well. And then we have our large paneled refrigerator, which is hidden behind these beautiful wood veneer panels. We duplicated what we used on the island, which was the glass front cabinet that we did at the built-ins. It's the icy blue, and these are actually glass. So we have this beautiful chef's range with 6 burners and an amazing griddle in the middle that lets you cook all different ways. We decided instead of going with a decorative wooden hood that we would go more of a chef kitchen route with the industrial stainless steel hood. And then one of the best features of this space is this open air concept that brings you straight in from the kitchen, straight out to the water. We can accordion back this entire window and serve from here to our guests right here outside. And so it really just gives you that feature of entertaining at any space throughout this home. So walking out to this beautiful outdoor living space, we wanted it to be a direct extension from outside in. So over here we have the bar area, which is a direct extension inside to the kitchen, so it makes it easy to pass over food, pass over a cocktail, and then also we have the grill behind us, so just makes it very fluid in this whole area. One of my favorite pieces is this dining set, super comfortable with these great pillows and the roping on the back. This set was actually designed by an architect and just has a very coastal but very edgy vibe. And one thing also that you really have to think about when designing on the coast is the weight of the product that you sell to your client. And so this is actually a solid stone top and base, and the bar stools and the chairs are a heavy duty aluminum. And so we do get wind gust on the intercoastal waterway, and so we don't have to worry about these pieces moving around and shifting. One of the elements we really wanted to design in the correct way was the banister so that you could see directly through it. So we went with a stainless cable rail, and so that way there's no obstruction from the view out. But I always love to cap it with an epay or mahogany cap that gives in a warmer element so that it does give some grounding to it. And this space is a direct extension from the family room. And so once again, we were very diligent about using the low profile because we didn't want the back of this sofa to obstruct any views from inside looking out to this beautiful water view. We were able to incorporate the fire feature, which is duplicated from inside out. And one thing about the fire table is we actually had to customize the width and the depth of it because Most of the decks on the coast are not super deep, and so we wanted to be able to navigate around this area. And so we were actually able to have a local person make us a 16-inch depth fireplace. So it allows the traffic to move around freely. We also wanted a little bit of a barrier privacy wall, so we didn't feel like we could sit and see our direct neighbors. And so these are UV protected snake grass, and we put them in these beautiful outdoor planters with some pebbles, and it just gives the perfect barrier and privacy for sitting here and enjoying the view. A really unique spot in this house is actually the upstairs landing. You have a direct view of these beautiful lights that we incorporated for the foyer. These lights actually shine straight through the grass across, so when you pass by the house at nighttime, you see them illuminating straight through. One thing that I really love about this landing is that it feels like there's a floating aspect. And because we used all of the glass, we have the glass railings here for the staircase, but then we also have a unique balcony across that leads to 2 guest rooms. And because all of this is glass, it feels like the landing is floating. One of the features of the house, we loved using these darker wood tones, and it has a beautiful contrast with the floors. Because the owner has 2 pets with dark hair, we actually went with this more sand light color because it's definitely better with showing anything on the floors. Surprisingly, the darker you go, the more it shows. So that was, to me, this beautiful walnut with the contrast of the light oak is a great match and pairing together. Welcome to the primary suite. This is one of my favorite entrances into the house. And so we have this gorgeous focal spot right when you enter this suite. And we actually commissioned these by a local photographer as well. His name is Sean Rutke, and it's an underwater scene. And so we wanted it in a series of 3. And so it would spread throughout the wall, and then same as the mural below, we did this light well above so that we can have it flooding down on the artwork. We also use this gorgeous porcelain tile that has the water element within it. The pattern has a 3-dimensional look, and it's just the perfect fit to complement this beautiful photography. Moving into the primary suite, we actually have a direct view to the waterway. And so this was one big open concept, and we positioned this wall so that it gave a gorgeous entry into the suite, and then also it gave us a landing to put our bed so that we have a direct view of the waterway. We also wanted to make this wall more of a feature, and so I had one of my carpenters do this beautiful walnut veneer and walnut finish, and so we did the slatted look that you saw in the foyer below, and it just brings some texture and warmth to the area. I always love bringing in walnut. It's a great coastal wood, and finishing and its natural element just adds that coziness and warmth that this bedroom really needed. We have the leather headboard with a custom chagrin surrounding and just cozy, comfortable, relaxed bedding. We incorporated these mirrors within so that we could have another view of the reflection of the water. Believe it or not, above here is a TV that drops down from the ceiling. There was no space in this area to put a TV, and who wants to watch TV with this view, but sometimes you do. And so we put one that actually is on hydraulics, comes down when you want to watch it, goes back up when you don't. We have this great sitting area that captures the view that's right off of the bedroom, and it's a great space to just relax, work on a laptop, take a phone call, and still feel like you're separated from your bedroom area. We also incorporated another piece of the local art from Chris Frick, and then we wanted the lighting to be minimal but also very clean lined and modern. So we have this 3-tiered LED stick lights, and you can actually position them in any way that you want to, which makes it really functional for any type of space. I love this hide hexagon ottoman. It's soft to put your feet on, but it also works as a great coffee table. And now we have the bathroom that comes right off of the primary suite, and we wanted this to just be clean, crisp, modern, and also bring the water inside once again. I love the structure of this tub because the curvature right here where it dips down gives a little softness to the room. And then one of my favorite parts of this bathroom was the Alex Turco glass wall. It's actually structured after an agate piece of stone. And so we were able to put all of the plumbing on that wall, which was a little bit tedious. One of the challenges for this bathroom was that all of the walls of the shower are glass. And so there was actually not one area to put a niche for all of our products or shampoos. And so we had our stone person, our local stone person, make this beautiful quartz bench. He was able to waterfall and miter the corners, and so it's the perfect bench for the bathroom or a drop zone. We went with this same dark stained wood for the cabinetry. It was a great complement with the light floors and the light accent on the shower wall. We went with modern chrome plumbing. It really accentuates all of the light water tones. And we were able to even find complementary soap dispensers and trash cans that just complement the mural on the shower wall. This house has so many features and gadgets that are so much fun, and one of the products that I had not used before was this shower head that actually illuminates, and you can see on the keypad I can change this to any color. We can have the blues, the pinks, the yellows, and the purples, or it can actually change all of the colors throughout. So this was a new product at the time, and it has been a lot of fun to see how it functions. Welcome to the adult playroom. This is where all the fun happens on the ground floor. And we had many things that we wanted to accomplish out of one room. And so one of the must-haves was a full gym. And so the client has every machine that he would ever want in there. And we were actually able to match the porcelain tile that we used in the main area with a vinyl gym floor. And so it's just a smooth, sleek transition. We also needed a spot to play games, sit around, have a cocktail, and enjoy the beautiful view outside. Of course, a pool table. Every playroom needs a pool table and games. And we have this wonderful lounging sitting space. We use leather, of course, because you're coming in straight from the boats or the pool, so needed to be very clean, durable. And the best feature of this entire space is that we were able to use these glass garage doors that just open straight out to the pool area and to the direct view of the dock and the intercoastal waterway. We were also able to utilize a full kitchen down here, which makes it so practical to come in from the water. We have beverage fridges below that are hidden by these light colored wood panels, and we have a full sink. We have an ice maker, and it just really makes this perfect for packing up the cooler, heading out to the boat, or going out to the pool. We use natural stone again. I always love to use what the earth gives us. So we have this beautiful gray that we also utilized upstairs in the master bath. And we wanted this space to have a very light, airy, neutral, but a little bit of an edgy vibe. So we worked in some black and white, and we kept the walls white to keep the room wide and not feel closed in. But if you'll see, we did this wonderful custom paintwork on the ceiling with geometric pattern and shape that one of our local artists in town did for us, and she captured it perfectly. So we incorporated the black throughout, the pops on the ceiling, and then also we have a black granite pool, which leads us out to the pool area. We have waterfall edges over the black surround of the stone. This is more of a dark pool, and so it really just gives that edgy vibe coming right off of this room. It has a sun deck with 2 perfect loungers, and one thing about our area is that you have to have a certain setback from the bulkhead. So with this area, usually half of your pool is going to be shaded and the other half is in the sun. So just a perfect transition coming out from this wonderful game area straight out into your backyard, into your dock and your boat. You can see why this would be one of my favorite projects. My client was so generous in letting me just really design the way that I felt the space and house needed to be designed. He has impeccable taste himself, but he really trusted me with every decision I made, which then made for a better design. So thank you for touring this house with me, and we'll see you next time.